Hello, I'm Cole Atkerson. I will be presenting on TypeScript today. It's a language improving on JavaScript, and this is for the class CSE 486. TypeScript in my Capstone project. I'm working on a web application project with Desserts app. We are building a desserts ordering system and using TypeScript for our web application. We use type definitions for everything in our project, from bakeries, ingredients, customers, IDs, entity shapes, objects, stuff like that. It's really useful stuff. Yeah. What is TypeScript? It's a superset of JavaScript, meaning that most vanilla JavaScript works in TypeScript. On the right here, you can see some JavaScript that would normally work. There's no errors thrown. There's an object that doesn't exist, and we are using a function of that object. However, in TypeScript, it catches this error, and this is because TypeScript acts as a compiled language. Catches more bugs in the IDE, and it uses the TypeScript compiler to achieve this. The compiler basically turns your TypeScript code into JavaScript. As you can see down here, this is the JavaScript produced after compiling the TypeScript. The TypeScript compiler provides a better IDE experience. Developers can compile TypeScript into JavaScript within the IDE, and then this JavaScript can be tested on your browser or in Node. And it also enables IntelliSense for types and definitions. So you don't have to look at documentation of objects and stuff like that. It's all in IntelliSense. The compiler can target different versions of JavaScript using the tsconfig file, which I will show in a second. Here on the left, you can see that a simple async function in TypeScript compiled in ES3 JavaScript, which doesn't have async, produces all this code just to have an async function. So the cool thing about this is that you can target older browsers as well as future ones at the same time. Here's the tsconfig file. It's targeting the ES3 JavaScript version and also adding the library DOM to the environment. And then it also, the compiler can also add IntelliSense to the DOM library. So it's showing the parameters of this function, the URL function. Third-party libraries and typing, things like Firebase and Redis, which I'm using for my project, already come with type definitions. Some libraries do not, but the community types are well maintained and open source in a big monorepo. Types of typing, there's implicit and explicit. It's as simple as this. This lucky is inferred as a number because it's equal to 23, or you can explicitly say that lucky is of type number. Creating types is super simple. This is creating your own types. You just define a type style and it's equal to, or it is a string. And then when you want to make a variable, you just explicitly define it as a style. And if you want the style to only be bold or italic font, then you can only set font to these two definitions, basically. You can also use types as objects, which is super useful because you maintain the shape of an object. So here you have a person object using the interface or typed of the interface person. And within this interface, you have a first name, which is typed as a string, and a last name, which is typed as a string. So it helps catch all those errors and such. Typing functions is super useful. On the left here, you can see some JavaScript code that wouldn't usually run. There would be an error because you're trying to call two strings when math.pow needs two numbers. So defining that the parameters have to be numbers is helpful for catching errors, as well as you can define the type of the return value. So this is the toString, and we're returning a string out of this function. Typing arrays is super easy. You can see this array is of numbers types. So only the one here is able to pass into the array. The Boolean and the string are not allowed in the array. You can also do an array of objects, which is super useful. And then TypeScript also adds tuples to JavaScript. Tuples are basically a fixed array of different types, but it's the same every time. So it's helpful for like what's in the array every time you call that tuple. In summary, TypeScript is a strongly typed language. It improves on JavaScript with type. It's an enjoyable development experience. The compiler helps avoid production disasters by catching errors and delinting Java. And if you know JavaScript, you know TypeScript, basically. And a little quote I found: TypeScript reveals silly errors in development that would be catastrophic in production, basically. Some sources: most of the images are from these YouTube videos, and then all the information is from this website on TypeScript. Thank you so much for watching.